What's up, y'all? So shout out to Boxing Scene. Apparently they had done an interview with Claressa Shields on August 24th, 2026. And it says, Claressa Shields aiming for 11 more fights with Lauren Price and Michaela Mayer in mind. I'm just going to read the article real quick. It says, Claressa Shields is targeting showdowns with Lauren Price, Michaela Mayer, and later retiring from the sport with a perfect 30-0 record. Shields, who is 19-0 with 4 KOs, can boast world titles across 5 weight classes, and in 3 of them, she gained undisputed status by holding all 4 sanctioned body belts. The 31-year-old, who recently dropped from heavyweight to middleweight to regain an old title against Kay Scott, is showing no signs of slowing down. It continues to say, discussions are underway about a showdown with Lauren Price, currently a welterweight champion, though Shields insists Mayer, who takes on Chanel Cameron at the weekend, is also in her thoughts. Anything is possible, Shields told Sky Reports. I came down specifically to fight against Kay Scott and then hopefully have a big showdown with Olympic champions, me and Lauren Price. If the fight with Lauren Price can't happen, I would love to get in the ring with Michaela Mayer. I know that she came from a smaller weight class and now she's at 154. My skills are still better than hers. I'm still faster than her. We have the same experience, but I have better experience. I've been to the Olympic gold medal match twice. She hasn't. I beat everybody. It doesn't matter the name that you put, Claressa versus whoever. I beat them. Shields was pleased to see Floyd Mayweather watching her bludgeon Scott, who into submission in 6 rounds at the State Farm Arena in Georgia on August 15th. She hopes to emulate Mayweather, who retired from official combat in 2017 with a record of 50-0. I had the biggest names there. I sold the arena out. It was insane, said Shields about her most recent outing. I put on a great performance. I've been building my career to this point, so I'm happy. I believe that I can retire undefeated. That's my goal. I don't know if I'll ever get 50 fights, but 30 is good for me. So we know that there is a ban from MVP, and MVP just linked up with Matchroom. So Claressa's pickings are very slim when it comes to the rest of these fights that she has to try to make up. Okay. She has 19 fights. She wants to get to 30. So let's see who else is out there. We have Lonnie Daniels. Her weight right now, as of this recording, she's heavyweight at 175 plus. And she's somebody that Claressa has already fought. Of course, we have Franchon Cruz-Tizern. She's a super middleweight up to 168 pounds. We know that she's already fought her as well multiple times. We have Lauren Price, who she does want to fight. She's currently a welterweight at 147 pounds. We have, and I'm going to try to say her name properly, is Maikutsu Hiruta. She's a junior bantamweight, super flyweight, up to 115 pounds. Okay. So just bear with me as I go through the ladies who she has to fight, because it's not many. And we can see right now that there's a weight disparage, right? We also have Sinesta Estrada, who is a minimum weight, strata weight, up to 105 pounds. And then we have Sarah Borman, who is also 105 pounds. Okay, so that's as of this recording, the ladies that came up when I searched who outside of MVP's umbrella can Claressa fight. First of all, again, how many times are you going to fight the same people? Okay. And I realize that there are people that may be coming in and out. There may be people who are turning pro that's not listed here yet. It may give her some competition at some point, but a lot of the fighters are not only outside of her weight class, but they're also signed to a promotion company that she's banned from. What if MVP has another merger with another, promotion company, boxing her out even more than she already is? She's talking about she want to fight Michaela Mayer. She's under MVP. I think that she's assuming perhaps they're going to lift the ban, and that's why she said Michaela Mayer. Perhaps she's thinking that they can sway Michaela to do something outside of her contract with MVP, if that's possible. Okay. If I think they feel like if they can offer her enough incentive or offer her enough money, she maybe can do something outside of what she is signed to do with MVP. Who knows? Okay. But it's just interesting to me how she's put it out there that she wants to retire at 30 and 0. And she's speaking as if there's so much competition out here and so many other ladies that she can fight. Now, the ladies that I did list, and I listed their weights, as you can see, she'll have to really, really cut in order to fight any of those ladies. And that's if they're a fighter. And in the article that I just read, recall that she said if the fight with Lauren Price doesn't happen. Because recall that she was supposed to fight Lauren Price before. She had said before she had announced the fight with Kay Scott that she wanted to fight Lauren Price. And so it was kind of a surprise when she announced Kay Scott as her next fight, because a lot of us were anticipating her and Lauren Price. For whatever reason, that didn't happen. Okay? So that's what I mean when I say Claressa is really looking like slim pickings when it comes to who she can fight. Between the ban, between the lack of ladies that are outside of, MVP, add to the weight differences, because she had to cut down. She admitted herself that she was almost 200 pounds. Okay. She cut down to 160, right? We know Claressa Shields' habits. We know she likes to eat. We know that usually when she's not in camp, she's doing whatever, drinking, eating, desserts, whatever. And so when you're already a heavier person, it's hard to get down in weight. And then you talking her potentially adding weight just to try to cut down. Okay. The only two ladies who she wouldn't have to cut for in this list of women is Lonnie and Cruz Dezern. If they'll fight her again, because she's already fought both of those ladies. So that's what I'm saying. It's a very ambitious task that she set before herself. Nothing wrong with being ambitious, but where would the fights come from? Okay. Who will she be able to fight? Because even if she were to make the weights and make agreements with all these ladies that's on the list, it still doesn't get her to her 30. And so that's why the question has been for me, what is the next step in her boxing career? As much mess as Claressa talk and as much, erratic behavior that we see from her, she's not dumb. Okay. She knows that this is a challenge. She knows that she's facing a lot if she's trying to keep her boxing career going. If there's nobody for her to fight, if no one will agree to fight with her. Okay. And so I believe that's why she's trying to get into the streaming and the music and whatever else we see from her. Okay. And this is not to down Claressa or anything like that. This is simply an analysis and potentially a prediction as to how this will go. Do I believe she's going to make it to 30 fights? I do not. If she keeps choosing fighters as she has in the past, do I think she's going to win undefeated? Potentially. Okay. Potentially she could, because she's very strategic in who she fights. The most challenging thing for Claressa with going into these fights is making sure that she stays disciplined enough to make the weight. That's based on what other people have said. That's based on what we see from her, especially this last fight that she did. She knew, everybody knew that she was going to win. And it has nothing to do really with how talented she is, how skilled she is. It's just, it didn't make sense to choose somebody with the record that Kay Scott has to fight them. Because even though she had an extensive, career before she turned pro, the age, the skill set, the speed, none of it was there. So that's what I'm saying. The record is what the record is when it comes to Claressa. She's won all her fights that she's had. You can't take that away from her, regardless of how people feel that she has chosen these fights, picked these fights, fixed these fights, whatever it is. We have to just go with what the record is. My question is, who will agree to fight her? Because in her article, it sounds like she's a little unsure that Lauren will even fight her. And again, for her to mention someone who's not accessible to her because they are under MVP, it further lets me know that she's under the assumption that MVP will lift the ban. There's been no indication from MVP that they're going to lift it. They aren't even addressing Claressa unless she does something like copying their fighter's entire weigh-in look. But before that, I don't recall them mentioning Claressa at all, except to say she was banned after she assaulted Alycia Baumgardner back in May 2026. So that's what I'm saying. I understand that this is the entertainment business. I understand that it's not necessarily run like corporate America. However, you do have protocol to follow. There still should be a level of respect so that people will want to work with you, because believe it or not, people don't have to take a fight with her. If they don't want to deal with her, if they don't want their name attached to her, if they see potential career gains elsewhere aside from fighting her, they don't have to take a fight with her. And it has nothing to do with them being scared or whatever the case may be. They may not want to be associated with what comes with fighting her. Because even though she wasn't nasty to Kay Scott, okay, we know that she can get nasty. And my thoughts on why she wasn't nasty with Kay Scott. She wasn't nasty with Kay Scott because she needed that fight. She needed that fight. She's still under contract with Win Records. She has to make a certain amount of fights in a certain amount of time. And I believe she has to win those fights. So if Kay didn't agree to fight with her, who else would she have gotten? You see, a lot of the other ladies fight at smaller weight classes. She said herself that she can't get down to like 130s and stuff like that. So again, she's confined by several sets of circumstances. Okay.
Respect Shields. I think she's the best in the game, and to be the best, you have to beat the best. And full credit to her, what she's done in her career. But I honestly believe in myself. I'm just getting better and better, and I'm in this game for the biggest fights. I want to become a multi-weight world champion. I want the biggest fights in boxing. And what a great honour it would be to share the ring with Shields. It makes her a great fight, but not just one fight. Like I said, we've seen it with Taylor and Serrano. I said to her tonight, let's do it, I'll come to America, you come to Wales, and let's do it. And she shook on it. And, hopefully we make that happen.